Miguel, here's your system. It's been fully tested, pressure test, vacuum test, as you see in the previous video. One thing I wanted to say is to adjust your heat, make sure this is always cracked open a little bit all the time. That's one of the most important things you need to remember about this tweaker valve, and that flow will go straight over into this box. So that way you get full movement, and your thermostat is able, the thermostated probe is able to see the changes in heat, so you don't get a working pressure that goes down for too long, because once you dump into this solenoid, through the solenoid, then you've got no working pressure. So the key is also this line here goes to the dump solenoid, and the other is your primer, chemical prime line, which is on the inside. That goes right over here. Connections, 12 volts in ground. The one closest to the green is ground, and the one further away from the green screw, they don't put machine screws in here. They never sell these units, these solenoids, with a screw. I don't know why that they don't. So you might have to pinch it in a little bit. I'll make sure it's pinched in. I think for safety wise, this is going to have to come off. The hoses will be run up in a box and everything, and this is going to have to come out. I'll probably just take it off here, and then you just have to be careful as to turn it on. These are bulkheads. They do need to be tightened sometimes, but other than that, everything was really tight and sealed off when I did the vacuum test. Watch the polarity right there on your battery, of course. And here's your fuse. So if you have no power to this panel, it's that fuse right there that could be blown. Okay? Another thing is make sure the light is turned on. That gives you power to the temperature gauge, to that hour meter, and that was a bonus. Okay, I gave you a bonus. This is a bonus that I didn't realize that once I put this big panel on that you wanted, that I had to go in with the aviator and spend more money on the aviator. So all this stuff is new. Typically, all the other units didn't even have a vac gauge. The vac gauge is usually something that I don't have on the other units. And the other guy paid extra for that vac gauge that you see on the gray Economy 36. But other than that, I gave you an extra vac gauge, an hour meter, a redistribution of the panel, because this had to be redesigned. So, you know, you got your money's worth for the extra $250, because a lot of time and labor goes into this. And nicely powder coated, beautiful setup. Again, when you turn on that, you'll get power to there, and because if you're not getting temperature, it's because that is not on. Also, this is your thermostat that will control the 12 volts. So you'll see this turn on, that means you're in the lower setting. If you want to go to the right, increases the temperature, which creates a larger signal that you'll need. Again, making sure this is cracked open because you want water to flow in that direction across the probe capillary. Once it reaches the desired setting as per thermostat knob position, that light will go on, and when the light goes on, it will send 12 volts to this solenoid, allowing the flow into your recovery tank, lowering the temperature. Okay, so a lot of time and effort went into this. Nobody's complaining about a bottom panel. Okay, everybody's happy with what I did, especially the serviceability of this unit. It's attractive in just the way that it looks. I mean, it's a beautiful machine. And anything like this, you're going to pay at least in the mid-20s or higher. Okay, I know what I'm selling, and I know the quality in which I have. Okay, this frame base is the same one we have on the 47s and the 45s, 1/4 thick, laser cut, all precision cut, all stainless header, patented heat exchanger. I'm the only one in the U.S. that builds that heat exchanger. So just take care of it, winterize it. It'll serve you well. Okay. And as you see, I put 45 on here just to enable you to make a nice connection. I wouldn't use a 90. I ended up using a 45 special order on those 45s, 2.5 45s. So check your oil. First 50 hours, I would change the oil. And then your oil drain is right here. Here's your accessory line for your demand pump or for your pump out. And everything is here. It's just nicely designed. We have a pulse here, pulse hose that goes down, and it actually flops down there, and that way it expands with the pulsations of the pump. That way you take all the hit off of the fittings and the coils in your heater. So a lot went into this. A lot went into the engineering and the quality and the materials and the labor. Okay, this tank has got a heavy bulkhead. That bulkhead there is about $50. It's very expensive, but it came out beautiful. This can be hooked up if you ever decide to get a 47 machine. That's a 3-inch, but the 3-inch has been bushed down to a 2.5 to be acceptable for a 36 roots. Pulling really good on the HGs. We have a seal on the inside, a rubber seal and a disc for your vacuum relief. And everything's really good. You got brackets at the bottom that will help you mount it to all the floor surfaces. Really nice tank, really rugged. As you can see, it just dipped ever so slightly when my hand went over this. So it's just really nicely put together. I'm really liking these mighty tanks. They're very thick material, by the way. So your pressure again is here. So if you want to set your pressure, you use this knob here for your unloader knob. And get your chemical screen here. Now when this points down, it's in the prime mode. You'll see the marker go up. So once you put this in here, you'll see the chemical detergent going through the line. It'll push this marker up. And then you just push it back. You push this up in the up position, and then it'll be in the metering part of it. So every time you hit a wand or your pressure tool, the marker will go up. And you can adjust it GPH here. Water inlet, again, we were never putting water inlets on this because this was a whole new idea. Okay, so typically this was always put in a different location on either the frame, like on the simplified economy 36s, or it also went on the SE series on the diamond plate. So this is all new. So it took a little bit of re-engineering to what I had to do for this to work. So it came out beautiful, beautiful machine. Could easily sell this in the teens to the 20 range. I think it's comparable to a compact 36. The footprint is shorter. Now, if you decide you want to put this on the other side, you could probably end up having to get a longer hose, but you're probably more likely going to have to shorten this and then bring it in closer to the machine. Other than that, I'm really happy with the way this turned out, and I think everything is going to work out. So, of course, winterization, I have some videos on that as well. That means you have to empty this out. Usually I use a wet and dry vac, and then just put the windshield wiper in, and then put the windshield wiper in. The chemical tube here, chemical inlet tube, goes into the wash, into the windshield wiper wash, and it protects the outside areas of the pump in addition to the inside and the coils and whatnot. So this is a great machine. I'm very impressed by the vacuum system of this mighty 54-gallon, and I'm also using them for fresh water as well. I just have to change the bulkheads fittings to accommodate a freshwater tank. But other than that, Miguel, I think you're going to be very, very happy with this unit.